I was like, I could pull the matchup in 20 seconds. David Rodriguez versus Mario Matthew. Oh wait, maybe I can't. Oh, hold up. Oh, yo, get debated, baby. Maybe I can't pull the matchup. Oh well, press 1 if debated. Hey, we just have to write without the match. Okay, hold on. Maybe that was a gold. Anyways, the point I could find coverage though. There he goes. Dude burying the lead.
Mario went first, setting a single card in his back row before passing for turn. Not
Okay,
much
I'm guessing he didn't find that exact page. Okay.
turn by today's standards, but considering the prominence of Cyber Dragon, a card that could be summoned for free if the opponent has a monster in play, not out of the ordinary. David responds by setting 2 cards to his own back row, then plays Sangan from his hand. After Sangan lands safely, David uses it to attack Mario directly for a measly 1100 damage. But Mario doesn't respond.
Wait,
Instead, Mario plays the ordinary. David responds by setting 3 if the opponent, but considering the prominence of Cyber Dragon, a card that could be summoned for free if the opponent has a monster in play, not out of the ordinary.
Oh, okay, he's
responds
saying
by
just set
setting
1.
2
I got
cards
you.
to his own back row, then plays Sangan from his hand. After Sangan lands safely, David uses it to attack Mario directly for a measly 1100 damage. But Mario doesn't respond. Instead, on his next turn, he sets a second face down and passes once again. It looks like the poor guy had bricked. But Mario wouldn't know the creek he was in until his end phase, where David activated one of his
MST?
face-down cards,
Ring.
Ring of Destruction, that trap I mentioned before. But direct damage was not David's intention. Instead, by destroying his own
He wants to
Sangan,
search Stein.
he could activate its effect. When Sangan is sent from the field to the graveyard, it allows its owner to search their deck for any monster with an attack lower than 1500. It doesn't take a genius to guess what he was going for. On his second turn, David opened with the card Giant Trunade, wiping out Mario's back row and leaving him with a completely empty field. David then summoned his Cyber Stein.
Now it's just Stein
5,000
Megamorph
life points
game.
To summon Cyber Twin Dragon,
Or limiter, yeah,
activated
limiter works.
removal, and swung twice for game.
Can I get an easy clap in the chat?
Meyer, the game was
Just
over
that.
in a flash.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! Better by... Well, I mean, just play Mind Crush in the main deck, bozo. If you had Mind Crush set, you would have been able to Mind Crush Stein and you wouldn't have got OTK'd.
In between matches, sort of indicative of the mood of the time, there was a brief exchange. Per Grabbermeyer's coverage,
So both of us get that sweater? Asked Rodriguez, pointing to the Shonen Jump championship jacket. No, only the champion does, replied head judge Simon Choi. I need that sweater! Exclaimed Rodriguez. Both duelists
forgot
sided
about
and
that.
shuffled for the second duel.
neither of them knew that
Magic
this
Drain.
game was about to be topped in ways none of them expected. Nobody. Not the judge, not the commentators, nor the players
Magic Jammer.
themselves
Dang.
knew what was about to happen. I mean, Mario had bricked, right? Surely that wouldn't happen again. Mario again went first, this time leading with
Okay. I can't say that was a brick. Setting 2 cards in GX is not necessarily a brick. In fact, I don't believe that that's a brick, because it could be like it's so hard to brick back then, Chad. Because like every card individually is like decent enough. Yeah, if he had. No, actually, yeah, Rye's right. It could, Chad, those cards could easily be bottomless Mirror Force. That's not a brick. But you wouldn't Mirror Force a Sangan, because then you just go neg out of the wazoo, and you can't bottomless Stein, and, even if, like, he had Trunade anyways, but, like, yeah, if he had bottomless Mirror Force, that's not a brick. That's actually a pretty strong opening. It just loses to Sangan specifically. And then Trunade, he gets OTK. But, like, I don't believe, unless he's going to tell me what the cards are, I'm not believing that he bricked.
stronger showing by playing the card Graceful Charity to draw several more cards, dropping a pair of strong contenders in the process. He followed this with a face down to his back row and a monster in face down defense position to his front. He passed turn, again per the Grabbermeyer's article.
Rodriguez looked at his hand, then at Mario. He looked at his hand one more time, and looked back at his friend with a grin. Sorry, Mario.
We gonna get a heavy
Wiping
storm?
out Mario's back row with
Trunade
yet
again.
another giant Trunade, David
Jeez, what did he... I feel like he's gonna go like Stein cross out Megamorph.
Played Cyber Stein raw from his hand. Paying 5,000 life
Cross
points,
out?
he summoned Cyber End Dragon from his fusion deck, equipped it with Megamorph to double its power, then attached another spell, United We Stand, which increased it by a further 1,600. Nothing.
Oh god, United we, because I'm like, that's not game. You need a way to deal with what's it called. But yeah, if you have an 8, that's 9,600.
In Mario's deck had a defense high enough to cushion enough of Cyber End's
probably like
damage
Reaper
to save him, so whatever he had face down, it didn't matter as David swung for lethal. And like that, it was over. 3 turns. David had just won the finals in only 3 turns.
Hey.
Not one game, but a best of 3 game set. 3 turns between 2 games. A self-sacrifice into a turn 2 win, followed by not just a Stein OTK, but a Stein FTK. A going second.
That is not what an FTK is.
FTK, but an FTK nonetheless. Needless to
That's not
say,
what an FTK
David got that
is.
sweater, along with a copy of Shrink and a whole host of controversy. It was not long before Upper Deck and Konami acted, and on December 21st, less than 2 weeks after the event, it was announced that Cyber Stein would be abruptly banned from all competition.
Well, you can what's it called? You can tell, or like at least I can. I can tell that this wasn't done by a Yu-Gi-Oh player. Like a lot of the terminology, that's not how we use that terminology. Kevin Tour didn't announce it. It wasn't now. I swear it was announced on, or the way that I learned it, Dark Emperor was through Pojo. Yeah, the way that I learned that Stein was banned was through Pojo, and I'm pretty sure it was through this post, because like Pojo wasn't necessarily official, but it was the #1 gathering place of Yu-Gi-Oh players. It would be like Twitter. What's up, Dyer? It would be like Twitter is today, like how they announced the ban list on Twitter. A lot of the news got broken on Pojo back in the day. The rest of the video is actually really interesting. Okay, well,
competitive formats.
He has played every TCG ever. John Wick or We Riot. Makes a parallel between these and the Frankenstein monster. Yes, Kodak is a TCG player. Oh, you mean this channel? Okay. Not really what's it called. He does a little bit of everything, but not specific on one game. Also, hi Dyer. Yeah, I wouldn't say that this was really even that similar. Like, it's similar in the sense that it's history based, but to kind of correlate cards that break the fusion mechanic. I mean, honestly, you can maybe even throw like it's just monsters, but he could have probably wrapped Metamorph. You guys think he could have wrapped Metamorphosis into this too? Because yeah, seriously, if you wanna go back chat like historically about these cards that really broke and warped the fusion mechanic, I'd say that there was a third card you could add, and I'd say that card would be Metamorphosis, because a lot of it would be around Thousand Eyes Restrict. And actually, hold on, it wouldn't just be Thousand Eyes Restrict, because Metamorphosis was played in the freaking Demise deck. Yeah, Metamorphosis was legal through GX as well. So that could technically be a third, unless he does talk about Metamorphosis too. It just wasn't like necessarily an OTK card. I don't think so. Okay, never mind. But yeah, that would be like a third one. The video is relating it to Frankenstein and his mom. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Hold on. So you're saying it's like scientist creates the Cyberstein, and that's like Frankenstein creating or Dr. Frankenstein creating the Frankenstein. Okay, that's kind of cute. Go doesn't exist without Metamorphosis. Was Metamorphosis considered broken back in the day? I thought people thought it was fine. What? Dyer, you mean, have you never heard of using Metamorphosis on a Scapegoat token? What? Or a Sinister Serpent? Any level 1 just makes Thousand Eyes Restrict, which is, like, arguably the boss monster of GOAT formats. And look, I know that the new kids will be like, well, actually, Captain, the current best deck in GOAT format was it. That's not relevant. Like, I look at things through the lens of like what actually happened, chat. I do not apply modern Yu-Gi-Oh theory to like past formats. It's like, again, chat, I use the example of like, it'd be like if some teacher was like, well, actually, World War II, what they should have done was use this tactic. It's like, yeah, but that tactic didn't exist until 50 years later, dude, okay? It wasn't applicable back then. If you go and actually look at like what happened through GOAT format, chat, once players learned, because they didn't immediately know about the whole Metamorphosis level 1, but it was like the second Shonen Jump. Once they learned about it, Metamorphosis just took over. I talk about it in some video. I forget exactly what video it was. I think that she's saying it wasn't seen as a problem among the 3 cards. I can't actually say. Like, I'm not gonna say that people weren't complaining about it to the level of like Pot of Greed and Delinquent Duo, but it was definitely because I didn't actually play GOAT format, chat. I kind of sat that format out because that was when I moved to North Carolina, and then I played immediately following that. Because yeah, I never actually played not IRL, chat. What, did y'all didn't know that? Yeah, I didn't play, what's it called? I didn't play GOAT format. I mean, it was freaking April 2005. So yeah, but September 2005, I'm pretty sure I played that format. Because I don't remember playing that many events, chat, with Delinquent Duo being legal, to be honest. And then Delinquent Duo was legal for multiple, because I think they banned it and then they brought it back. They did a lot of stupid shit back